today's episode of The American Dream, Selling Wichita, I'm going to spotlight Michael Harris, who owns Harris & Company Frame Shop, and we're going to take a trip to Mark Arts. So here we are today in Michael's shop. So give us a little background, like what got you into the framing business?
It's kind of a fluke. I was in college and in a fraternity, and I had a good friend there that worked in a picture frame shop. He would have to buy me beers or whatever, and he suggested that I come apply at this picture frame shop. Well, anyways, it was an immediate click, and I just kind of took off with it from there, working part-time. Didn't make it through college and ended up working full-time for the frame shop. Wasn't making enough money, and I decided in 1992 to go ahead and start my own. Not knowing if I'd make it, but I was going to give it a shot. And
it looks like you've made it. So what are some of the most unique things that you've framed, or most random?
One of the weirdest things I've ever framed was a lady came into the shop, and she had long hair for years, and she cut off her ponytail, and she wanted it put in a shadow box. So we had to figure out how to do that.
So I brought in this piece for you.
Yes.
And this came from Stacy Williams, who is in charge of alumni at Wichita State University. And they were going through some of their archives, and they unearthed this, which I think is really cool because it's a Wichita State football cheerleader photo, and we haven't had a Wichita State football team in a very long time.
I was in, the last year they played was 1985, and that's when I was there. So we got to go actually see the last of the football games. So this is pretty cool. I like this piece. This is a very unique piece. I like this one.
And this is going to hang in her office at Wichita State. All right, here we are. We are at Mark Arts here in Wichita, Kansas, and I want to take you inside and show you this 40,000 square foot arts center. And we're going to be taking a look at Michael Harris's handiwork and all of the framing that he's done for local artists. And I'm going to introduce you to Tim Stone, who is a local artist that is being featured here.
First met Mike about 10 years ago. I was recommended to get work framed by him when I was in undergrad. Met a ton of local artists through him. I had a show at Diver Studio on Commerce. That was my BFA show. My work, if I want to tell you a little bit about it, it's just sort of like how we deal with contemporary space nowadays. It's sort of this hybridization between the digital and the physical. I'm a landscape painter, which is fairly evident, and it's just like, what is landscape today? How does that affect us? What is affecting our landscape? So there's evidence of climate change, there's evidence of like the inundation of technology, and it looks great because of Mike, essentially.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, appreciate you.
So the inception of what is now Mark Arts actually began in 1920 here in Wichita. And now this building was built in 2015, and it was made from a generous donation from the Charles Koch Foundation. They donated all 17 acres that this sits on. They had about 200 donors that all contributed over $13 million to have this building built.